Hey, I'm Justin Cash, and I've been playing music since I was a newborn baby, actually. When I was first born, I lived in New Mexico, and we had tile floors. And on that tile floor was my little wooden crib. And my father would put me in that crib, and every night they would go to sleep. My mom and dad would go to sleep in their room, and then they would come find me in the morning, and the crib would be moved over to the other side of the room. And my parents were puzzled as to how in the world is his crib moving at night? Is someone coming in here and moving his crib? And then one night my dad woke up and he heard this sound like boom, screech, boom, screech, and he realized I was hitting my head against the side of the crib wall and moving my crib all the way across, like scooting my crib across the floor. So they took me to the doctor, and they asked if something was wrong with me because I was banging my head all night long on the crib. And the doctor said, well, I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I've heard that it's a sign of musical talent. So ever since I was a little kid, I've been playing, singing. I've always had songs in my head. When I first started playing guitar, I remember very clearly, I have an aunt, my Aunt Monica sent me some things that she wasn't using in the mail. She sent me a backpack, like a backpacking backpack, and a nylon string Spanish guitar. And I remember picking it up and kind of like, just playing around with it and trying to figure out little melodies on the strings. And there was something about it that just kind of fascinated me. And so I started playing. Then my Aunt Rosemary, we had a family reunion, and and she plays and sings really well. And so I said, show me some of those things you're doing with your fingers. And so she wrote out a little page of the first 11 chords. And I remember there were some really hard ones, like the F chord that I thought were physically impossible to play. But, I kept doing it over and over, and eventually I started playing and then taking lessons. And I had the great opportunity to take lessons from some really great players. And one of there's several really influential ones, but there was this store called Acoustic Music Revival in Denver, Colorado, where I went to high school. And at that store, it's kind of like this old world shop where there's guys in berets and mustaches, and they all play, they all sing, and they all know a million songs. And my father took me there when I was, I was probably 15 or so. And, I started learning songs by Bob Dylan, songs by the Beatles, and I started getting exposed to great songs and songwriting. So my first teacher was Skip Graybo, and he taught me how to sing and play. And through learning those songs by the Beatles, by Dylan, old folk songs from New Orleans, basically American songs, blues, by learning those songs, that gave me a solid foundation to build on and do my own things. And there came a time later on where I realized, it's time to do my own thing. And there was a point where the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Dylan, they had to stop imitating and start creating and doing their own thing. So when that time came, I just, songs started coming out, and it, through a lot of hard work and a lot of faith, and we produced and wrote the album Beautiful World, and I'm really happy with how it came out.
It's a beautiful, beautiful world. Well, there's homeless on the streets of New Orleans, singing stories that'll make you cry. But there's a girl on the TV singing about nothing. We're all listening, but we can't explain why. And there's a soldier in a faraway country. He left his wife and a baby unborn. And as she opens her eyes, she looks just like her daddy, who died moments before. It's a beautiful, beautiful world. It's a beautiful.
A lot of times you make something and you wish it had been a little bit different, but I'm really happy with the way it came out. I'm looking forward to the next one. I got about 200 more ideas to make, but you know, it's part of what it's part of my duty, I guess, on this earth. I gotta keep making more and keep creating. I really can't deny the fact that because it started so early, it's just something that God gave me, and it is a gift. And speaking to that, the fact that it's a gift, I have a story about that. My grandmother sent me a check one time, and she lives in an old age home in Tennessee and does not have a lot of money. And one time she sent our family a check for $100, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to cash that check because she needs it way more than I do. So a couple weeks later, she calls me up and she said, Justin, why didn't you cash that check? And I said, you know, I mean, I tried to make some excuses. You know, what I really wanted to say was, I can't take your money. And you know, she wanted to help our family out. And she said, Justin, that check doesn't do any good if you don't cash it. And so whether I like it or not, I had a check from her, and she wanted me to cash it. And I think in a way that's kind of like a musical gift, because we have to use it. It's a gift, and a gift doesn't do any good unless it's shared with other people. Just like a check doesn't do any good unless it's cashed. So I guess I see it kind of as my duty to get up in the morning and create and do and make music for other people, because that's what the Creator gave me. And He gave me those things, and if I don't use them, then I'm not appreciating what I've been given. So that's why I do what I do. I do it because it was kind of what I was programmed to do from the very first moment I was born. And I do what I do because it's a gift, and the gift is meant to be shared.
Ooh, oh, oh, ooh, yeah. When you were a child, you had a dream to change the world, as hard as that may seem. Now there was a time that you believed. Do you remember how good it feels to dream? Now that you're older, something changed inside you. What happened to make you forget that you can make it if you try? Oh, 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 oh. No one can stop you if you want to reach the sky. Just give it a little time. You can make it if you try. Whoa, whoa. You can make it if you try. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
lot of edits in there. I'm sorry. Why do I do what I do? I got some stuff ready. I messed that up. Let me try it again.